Hello students, I am Kehkasha, your English 2 teacher. Today we are going to discuss Unit 2 of your course book, that is Wild Duck. This story is written by Romesh Guneskera. He was born in Sri Lanka but lived in Britain. Now let's start the story. They will come from over there, the man pointed at a red volcanic hill. A man pointing towards a volcanic hill, saying that they will come from over there. He and the boy both had guns resting across their knees. They sat facing each other in a small, motionless boat with the oar tucked in. Here, they both are sitting in a stable boat and while and taking and they both have a gun. Are you ready? He asked his son. Yes, this now here we got to know that one person is father and the other one is his son. The son has answered yes. They come in clouds, huge clouds, moving very fast. He moved his arm in wide sweep, rocking the boat. You have to be quick, shoot fast. Here the father is telling his son that whoever they were waiting for, they move very fast, okay? And telling him to be quick. The boy ran his finger down the cold blue barrel of his gun. Here the barrel of his gun means the part of the gun through which a bullet is fired. You must have seen guns in pictures or somewhere. They have to twitch a barrel through which the bullet came out for shooting. Minute by minute, the light changed on the flat surface of the water. Orange, red, mauve seeped from the sky. Mauve is a tint with a violet color. It was late afternoon, a lake in the wilderness. The time was more after the afternoon time, but before the evening time. You loaded? Yes. Remember, aim well ahead. He was commanding his son to aim well so that he can take the take his target easily. You have to imagine the flight path. To be dead on is not easy, but you have to manage with just one shot. They have only one shot and they have to manage to target. I know. Suddenly the boy looked up. Is that them? A ribbon of black dots billowed out of the horizon. The boy, pointing towards the sky, he was asking his father, that is that them? Billowed, rose up fast and in a growing number. Suddenly something that start emerging from out of horizon. The boy was spellbound. Breath whistled out of his small round mouth. Watching birds was his passion. His passion was always watching birds. There must be millions, he exclaimed. He was so excited that he said that there will be millions. Half the sky was covered by teal. Teal is a type of small and wild duck. Okay. Huge clouds of them banked one way, then another, changing the shape of the sky and plotting the light. The sky deepened, the water turned back, small group broke away, diving, then rising in perfect formations, blotting, blocking out the light. They were blocking the sunlight, okay, uh, and also changing their shapes and dividing themselves in small groups and then making a formations. Will they all land here on the lake? The son was asking his father that will they all the teals can land here lakeside by the lakeside. They look too high. I think they are aiming for somewhere else. Here the father is telling that no, but because their height was too high, so they must be going somewhere else. Who decides? They know. How do they decide? The father is answering that they know themselves. Then they were overhead, the sky filled with masses of birds in flight, a flurry of bird calls. Okay, a flurry of bird calls, a number of bird calls at once in a very short time. So many number of birds, matlab there must be a number that it is called a group of birds. You can also say that they must be in a group, and they must be called in a short span of time. They don't have a long time. They just come out from anywhere. Father and son looked at each other. Here goes. The man undid his safety catch and started firing. The man started firing, through the buckshot at the sky. Buckshot, many small balls of metal fired from a shotgun. Shotgun bullets. You can say that buckshots. The explosion shook the boat. The more they shoot at the birds, the more the boat start shaking. The lake rippled. He pumped the gun empty. Too high. They are flying much too high. Now he is saying that the birds are too much high for their aim. His son slowly raised his rifle. He had a more patient and steady hand. He picked a single speck out of the mass in the sky, the leader of a formation flying towards them. He aimed and fired. The speck plummeted, fell very fast and suddenly. Now, as we have read earlier, the father have almost finishes his shotgun bullets, but then the son raised his rifle and, being more patient and steady, he only aimed towards the leader, the one whom the other birds are following. He aimed and fired, and just imagine, he directly hit the aim, and the bird has fell immediately. You got the leader, the man cheered. Here the man is boosting his son that you have got the leader. Another bird swiftly took its place. They were all leader by instinct. As soon as the first leader fell down, the another bird came and took the leader position by instinct, in the way animals naturally behave without having to think or learn about how to act. They don't have to think or something. They have inbuilt in nature that if the one who was leading mm, dies or something happens to them, the other person instinctively, just by their nature, take their place. I want to find it. The boy put down his rifle and took the paddle. Did you see where? It just fell behind the bulrushes. Go round that way. Here the boy is telling his father that I want to find the one I have hunted, and now putting his rifles down and taking the paddle. Paddle is used to float the boat. Okay, he is asking, have you seen that where the bird fell? It just fell behind the bulrushes. Bulrushes Plants with tall stem that grows near rivers and lakes. Those plants who grows near rivers and lakes but have tall stem part, they are called bulrushes. Okay. The boy moved the boat against the tide of teal, still wheeling overhead. His arms trembled as he pulled the paddle through the black water. His arms were trembling. Okay, the boys against the teeth of the teal, the large flock of wild ducks moving together. Now they were going against, as they were targeting all the teals, but when they have hunted the targeted the leader, now they are going against the teal, wheeling around the circles. He pulled the paddle through the black water. I think I can see it, he said, leaning forward. There was a lump floating on the water. On it was a broken wing pointing at the sky like the ragged sail of toy boat. The boy lifted the paddle and they glided up to it. He bent over the slide and scooped it up. Well done, the man said. His son was silent. The duck was big, helpless, touching its soft feather and its tail and its thin bony neck. The boy looked frightened at what he had done. While moving towards their target, they saw that something is floating on the water and it has a broken wing. Okay, the man has again cheered him up, saying, "Well done." But now, as Sun was silent, Sun was upset too. The duck that they have targeted and aimed, he was big and helpless, touching its soft feather, its thin bony neck. The boy looked frightened at what he had done. Now the boy is feeling bad that he had done something bad. Then the duck lifted up its head. Look, it's not dead. The blood seemed to flow again in the boy's arm. He breathed in relief. The duck looked blank. The duck lifted its head, but he was not dead. The blood now seeing the duck lifting his head, the boy seemed to be relaxed. He took a sigh of relief, and but now the duck looked blank. The boy stroked its head. I want to go home. You will have to look for it. I know I want to. At home. Now they they were taking the bird to their home. At home, the boy bandaged the wing and learned to feed the maimed duck. Maimed, injured so severely that a part of its body no longer worked as it should. Okay, here the duck's wings is not working. He spent hours watching it waddle, walk with short steps, swinging the body from one side to the other about the backyard. Sometimes it would stretch its necks and try to flap its lopsided wings, but it could never fly again. The ducks sometimes uh, try to fly, flapping its wings, but then it was no worth. One day the man asked his son, "Where's the gun? I threw it away," he said defiantly. One day again, the father asked his son that where's his gun. The son blandly said, "I threw them away." "You what?" asked the man, shocked at his son's boldness. "It was mine. You gave it to me, but I didn't kill your duck. It gave it gave you your duck, but I didn't. It was my. You have given to me, but I didn't. It was mine. But you didn't kill your duck. You gave your duck. It made me sick. The man felt the blood pumping in his head, and then he was filled with a sense of peace. He found he was relieved the gun had gone. Now here he was now relieved that they have got their duck, but he was also in peace, so that finding that they had to let go their gun.